Crafty Kate, and I run a small crochet business. On this channel we talk all things yarn and crochet. So for this video I have some fun things to go over. I got some of the new Cozy Cub yarn from Michaels that I'm going to review for you. And then I also got some new crochet hooks that I'm really excited to share with you that I actually love. And then I have a couple different updates, business updates. So we'll start with some of those. So custom orders recently. I think I mentioned in the last video that I was in full panic after the last market on Thursday. I had 2 big ram snugglers that were due through Etsy to go out on Friday, and I didn't have much done on those. So I ended up spending most of Friday working on those and got them to the post office just in time to go out on Friday. So it ended up working out, but it was a lot of work. So here's a picture of those 2. So the sand colored one is going to Deborah in Missouri, and then the caramel one is going to Jane in Maryland. So thank you both so much for those orders. I definitely felt a little bit rushed, but I was so happy to make them, and I love the way those turn out every time. So, and then Maryland was actually not colored in on our map, so I colored that one in. So here's a little updated map. I'm sorry it's backwards. Missouri is colored in, it's just fading. These markers really are terrible, but the map is looking very filled in and pretty, so we're getting closer to filling it all in. And then the other custom order that we have that is due to go out, I think on Tuesday, I already have it done, so it will go out tomorrow, which is Monday, was this adorable purple horny toad. So I had someone reach out to me that is a TCU graduate, and I guess TCU, their mascot is a purple horned frog, which is the same thing as a horny toad. So she asked me to make a purple one, and purple is my favorite color, so of course I was like, yes, I would love to. And this is my own pattern. So yeah, made this cute little guy for her. Turned out adorable. So I used Elise Veludo for this in the pretty purple color. And then this is Burnout Blanket White. I used a 6.5mm hook. She wanted embroidered eyes because it's going to sit in her car on her dashboard, and she is in Texas. So we didn't want the eyes to melt. But yes, thank you so much for this order. If you're watching, I loved making this guy. This purple is so, so pretty. So that was a fun one. So that's all the custom orders I have for a little bit, so we have time to market prep and work on some stuff. So I have a PalmStreet Live on Saturday, the 26th at 11 a.m., and I'm planning on having a bunch of sinker eyes. So you can see back there, I have been busy painting eyes. I'm trying to have 2 sets of every color. 2 sets of every size, 14mm, 16, 18, 20, 25, and then I got some white pupil eyes in 25mm. So 2 sets of all of those sizes is my plan. I have 1 color done so far, so we have 4 more colors to go. Okay, and then I wanted to go over the new crochet hooks that I got. I have been trying out different crochet hooks over the last several months, and I have not liked any of them. I've been really struggling with hooks that a lot of people love, and I absolutely hated them. So I tried O-Fire hooks, which are like the resin hooks, and I didn't like the way those glide through the yarn. And then I tried Furls hooks, which people love, and I got the matte finish instead of the gloss, and I didn't like the sharpness of the hook head, and the length of like the neck of it was really long, and it just didn't fit in my hand right. I tried for weeks because they said you have to get used to it, and I really tried, but I could not get used to it. I was dropping stitches. It was making my hands hurt because I was having to pull. They have like a really sharp edge in the head that wasn't great for the burnout blanket yarn. I don't know. I ended up sending those ones back, and Furls does have a fantastic return policy. So love the company, just didn't like their hooks. I might try some different ones in the future, but I know I don't like resin, and I don't like the matte finish with the sharp heads. So I have been using Clover hooks. These are my 2 go-to hooks, 6.5mm and 4.5mm. I use these for just about everything. I hate that this one is plastic. I have felt like I was going to break it many times, and I do have a friend, April from the Cozy Buckeye, did recently break one of these plastic 6.5mm hooks, so that made me really nervous. Like, if I break this, I don't have another one. So I wanted to find some hooks that I really liked that were metal. So I saw on Etsy, someone was selling tulip hooks and I saw that they had a purple set, so of course I was immediately interested. So I started looking at all their pictures and information about the tulip hooks, and they look really similar to Clover, but they have a 6.5 millimeter in metal. So I ordered 2 of them. So I got the 6.5 millimeter and the 4.5 millimeter, and they're purple. Even the hook part has kind of a purple tint. It's hard to tell in this light, but they're purple tinted. And they have the nice rubber grips and the little thumb spot. So to compare to the Clover hooks, if you like Clover hooks, I think you will like tulip hooks because they're very, very similar. So the 4.5 millimeter, they're exactly the same length, pretty much the same shape head. The tulip is a little bit sharper at the top, which I like. And then they have very similar depth into the hook. So absolutely love this one, 4.5 millimeter. And then the 6.5 millimeter, I love it. I'm using it like crazy. The only thing that I wish it had, so here's with the Clover. The Clover is a little bit longer, which I like. So I wish it was a little bit longer, like the handle part down here. But other than that, they are very, very similar. The neck is a little bit shorter, which doesn't bother me at all. I like that the slope here is not quite as pronounced because I rest my finger there when I'm grabbing the yarn and putting it back. And this is actually almost given me a blister before, especially on the 4.5 millimeter. For some reason, this one's a little sharper to me. So I really like how the tulip has a little bit of a more gradual decline down to the hook. Or yeah, down to the hook neck. So yeah, I am obsessed. So here's these 2 again. And they're just really similar, but a little bit different. I haven't been dropping any more stitches than I do regularly. And I have noticed there's a little bit different shape to this where your thumb goes. And I've noticed my thumb is one of the first things to get sore when I'm crocheting a lot. And since I started using this one, my thumb has not been as sore. So yeah, I am obsessed, you guys, obsessed. I think 6.5 is the highest they go with the metal head that I could find. In the purple, at least. They have other colors. There's a pretty rose pink set. But yeah, so I will link the Etsy shop down in the description that I got these from. They're a U.S. distributor, which I thought was cool. I think they said they're the only U.S. distributor of tulip hooks, so thought that was cool. So I will link that down in the description for you guys. They also have the pink ones, and I don't know what else they have, but then they sell the whole set, or you can get them individually, which I thought was nice. I wasn't ready to spend the large amount of money on the whole set, especially not knowing if I liked them or not, but getting the ones I use the most was a perfect idea for me because I love them and I'm going to use these like crazy. So what I've been doing is keeping these on my desk to use every day, and then I put these 2 in my Max Carpet Works project bag to take with me on trips or to my markets or whatever. So I always have hooks in there because I don't know about you, but when I go traveling, I leave the hook for the last minute because I'm crocheting at my desk, and then I have to remember to put the hook in my bag. And if you forget your hook, then you can't do anything. So now I have 2 full sets, so I can keep some in my bag and have some at my desk. So very excited about these. Let me know if you've tried tulip hooks, or if you like them or not. But yeah, so excited that they had the 6.5 in the middle. So those are my new hooks. So now we'll jump into the Cozy Cub yarn review. So Cozy Cub is the Loops and Threads version of Big Twist Baby Bear, and I absolutely loved Baby Bear. So I have some left to compare it to. So these are my little scraps of Baby Bear, and then I also have some Big Twist Posh. That's a mess. Big Twist Posh to compare it to. So here is the Cozy Cub, And I wanted this dark brown color because Parfait Chunky does not have this specific brown. And I love this brown for making capybaras and stuff like that. And sloths and other different things. And then I still had some of the light brown left. So that's perfect. So this is the color of Baby Bear that I believe they were trying to copy with the new Cozy Cub. So you can see they did an okay job. This is a little bit shinier, and I think it's more of a texture issue than a color issue because the color really is pretty similar, but you can see the shine kind of on here. So my first impressions of this is, first of all, I only got the one color and I wasn't able to go to Michael's. My sister was over in Utah, so I told her to go and see if they had some and grab me one. So I just told her to get me this color because I knew I would use it. And I wasn't there to be able to feel it to see if I liked it. So yeah, I ended up with just this one color. But my first impressions of it, as soon as I saw it and felt it, was like, oh, that's not it. They did not nail it. It's really soft and it's a beautiful color and I'm going to use it, but it is, at first glance, it looks like posh. Like it just looks like posh. So if you look at see if I can get it to focus, the thickness, it's really thick and fluffy. And if you look at the Baby Bear, it's hard to tell on camera, but like it's softer and more like almost kind of velvety, if that makes sense. Like it's not as thick and fluffy. So this to me is more like a mini blanket yarn, which I think is what people have said posh is. And if you look at those two together, the pink is not, there we go. They're very similar size, very similar texture. Obviously I don't have the new Loops and Threads Posh to compare it to, so I'm not sure how that works. But as far as this being like Baby Bear, I would say no. I am going to make something with it here in a second. We'll make a little capybara with the Baby Bear and the Cozy Cub together to see how it turns out. But it just is a lot thicker than this, which I've heard other people say. You can see the difference there, how this is kind of soft and fuzzy, and this is thick and chunky. I don't know how else to describe it, but let's see. So like on a hook. So that's the Baby Bear. It just feels really thick compared to the Baby Bear. So, but it is really soft. I'm not a huge fan of posh, so that's why I'm not super thrilled about it. And I don't know if the other colors maybe had a different texture. Sometimes the yarn companies do that where different colors have a different texture. But anyway, so they did a pretty good job with the color. Just not so much the texture so far that I can tell. So I'm going to work up this little capybara and then I'll show you after what I think. I also, the Baby Bear and the Posh, I struggle with center pulls. So we're going to try a center pull. I don't even know what this is. It looked like the outside end, but it's stuck in there. So I don't know what that is. Oh my. Oh, we got an end. But this looks like it's gonna barf all over me. Oh my. Yeah, so center pull might not be the answer. What I ended up doing with all of my other Baby Bear was I center pulled them and ended up with stuff like this, and then I just put it on my yarn winder to neaten it up. So I will have to do that at some point because my little capybara is not going to use all of this. So now we have this mess, which I think just comes with these giant skeins of the smaller yarn. But the piece I thought was the outside pull, oh my. So that goes to the outside, but also goes back inside. So, oh. Okay, well, let me just figure this out, and then I will make this capybara. Okay, so I honestly have no idea what that was. I thought it was the center pull, but it ended up, this whole chunk came out and attaches to the outside, if that makes sense. So it does not even continue to come from the inside. So that is not, not ideal. If you're going to use the outside pull, you don't want half of it to be shoved into the inside of the yarn. So I don't understand that at all. I don't know if anybody else has run into that. So I didn't even find the center pull with that giant ball of barf. That was the outside. So definitely not impressed by that. But it's not tangled and we got it all rolled up. I'll probably just keep it like this for now since it's a full skein. But yeah, I'm going to get started on this capybara and I'll show you when I'm done and let you know what I think of working with the yarn. Okay, here is my cute little capybara. So this is the free pattern by Sweet Beans Crochet. And I don't change anything about the pattern. I think I just have to move one bobble just a tiny bit, but everything else turns out great. And my favorite thing about these little guys is they look so cute with just a simple embroidered line for their eyes. It makes them so cute and it's so quick and easy. So there's that little guy. I used the 4.5mm hook for the whole thing. You can definitely tell a difference when you switched from the baby bear to the cozy cub as far as thickness, but it did still work with my 4.5mm hook. You can just tell it's just a little bit fuller because it's about the same width, but it's just thicker, if that makes sense, and not as shiny. But it worked up cute. Like, it looks like they did before. I did like the shine. This is the baby bear. I do like the shine. So yeah, overall I would say it is not the same as baby bear, but it's not a terrible yarn. It doesn't shed. It also is really hard to break. So for like magic rings and stuff like that would be great. Love that it doesn't shed though. My original plan with the baby bear was I wanted an alternative to Parfait Chunky because I wanted something that didn't shed. So this doesn't, and it's soft. It's just a little bit more blanket yarn texture than I was hoping for, but overall it's a good yarn. Not sure what happened with the center pole or the ends. I don't know if anybody else has had that problem. That was definitely weird. I've never seen that happen before, but it wasn't too knotted up, luckily. But yeah, let me know down in the comments if you have tried Cozy Cub and what you think of it, if you think it is comparable to Baby Bear or if it's different. I would say it's closer to Posh, but I don't use a lot of Posh, so yeah, just let me know what you think if you've tried it. Let me know if you thought this was helpful. And then I do have a couple other updates. Let's see. So we talked about the PalmStreet. If you want to go bookmark the PalmStreet, I'll have it linked in the description. If we get to 75 bookmarks before Saturday, I will do a giveaway during the live. As far as the last time I looked, I don't think we're anywhere close. So, but that's okay. Oh, and then I just bought a couple of new patterns. I haven't been able to make them yet. As you know, I've been crazy busy trying to market prep and keep up with these markets. But I bought 3 new patterns that I'm really excited about. So I was going to share those with you real quick. Okay, so the first one, I'll pop up a picture right here, is Octavia the Octopus. I really wanted to put in for this pattern test, but I knew I wouldn't have time. And then they did a giveaway of the pattern. I put in for that too, and I was super excited. I didn't win the giveaway, so I went straight out and bought the pattern because it is just the cutest little thing, and I can't wait to make it. I've pattern tested for them a bunch and love so many of their patterns, so I'm really excited to try this little girl out. So that's one of the new ones I got. And then recently I saw What's Up Cupcake make a really cute snake that was very similar to the tentacles on Octavia the Octopus. So I looked up the snake pattern and ended up buying it as well. So here's a picture of that little guy. It's Swirly the Snake by Zazulia. And there's no stuffing and no wire in the snake. It just twists like that based on the way that you crochet it. So I haven't done it yet, obviously, but I'm very excited to try it. I think they will be fantastic market makes. I want to make some tie-dye ones. I think that will be so fun. So, and it looks like it's very similar to the tentacles on the octopus. So, hoping those are easy to do. I will definitely let you know as soon as I make those. I just wanted to let you guys know what new things I have coming. So all these will be linked down in the description if you're interested in getting them before I'm able to make them and show you how they turn out. And then the last one I got is, here's a picture of it. It's a teeny little fairy dragon with eggs. And she has 3 different styles for the eggs. I knew a couple people that pattern tested and really enjoyed the pattern. So I'm really excited to try these guys out. It is called Mini Croc with Eggs from Coro Crochet. So yeah, I know lots of people that love her patterns and have pattern tested for her. I wanted to pattern test it. I think I might have even put in for that one, but I didn't get it. It was a little while ago. But yeah, I'm really excited to make those for markets, especially just the little dragons. I don't know how many eggs I'll make because those are a little bit harder to get your money out of them. I might put those on as a made-to-order thing on Etsy. We'll see how it goes, but definitely excited to try those cuties. The little dragons are absolutely adorable, the way they sit up, kind of stand up that way. So very, very cute. So those are the new patterns that I got recently and I'm excited to try. So stay tuned for future videos of me testing those out. And then the last thing I wanted to mention was I had no idea this was coming. It was kind of a secretive thing, but Parfait Chunky just came out with a bunch of new colors. So I will have Parfait Chunky linked in the description as well. I did a big order of a bunch of the new colors. I didn't get all of the new ones because some of those colors I don't use, but they came out with a ton of new greens. I use a lot of greens, so I'm very excited about all the different greens. I think there was a new kind of brownish color. So those are on the way. And then I also, of course, added a bunch of tie-dye, Premier Basics chenille to my order to get the free shipping. So I have lots more new yarn coming. I will have both of those linked in the description if you want to try those out. And I think that's just about all I have for you guys for this video. I hope you found some helpful things in it. New crochet hooks, new yarn, all kinds of fun stuff, custom orders. For an emoji in the comments this time, let's do a little bear in honor of baby bear and cozy cub yarn. Let's put little bears in the comments for making it all the way to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching and sticking through all the way to the end. And don't forget to subscribe if you like content like this so you don't miss anything. I do have another farmer's market on Thursday, so there will be a recap of that on Friday. And then I have the PalmStreet on Saturday, so that will be recapped sometime next week. So lots going on still. And thank you so much for sticking around, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!